Thank you.
We good? Hey everyone, thank you very much for joining us today. We'll call the meeting to order, and if you'll please rise and join us in the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. For the record, please show that we have Jeff Durham joining us remotely, and that Dr. Josh Byers is not able to attend today. That 1.03 is approval of the agenda. Possible action. Two motions, 2 seconds. We're good, I think, on that. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye as well. 1.04 is the introduction of our Elko County School District Student Board Member, Noah Johnson. Do we have you? You're good. And I don't have an introduction quite yet for you, Noah. So if you would like to just tell us a little bit about yourself, you're welcome to, as far as what grade are you in school, what are your aspirations after school, hobbies, and so forth.
I'm senior. Next year, I want to go to BSU. I got accepted for the senior.
One 1.05 is receiving a presentation from the Owyhee FFA students. Are you all ready, ladies? All right. Yeah.
Did you want me to start?
Sure.
So tonight I've asked our Owyhee Duck Valley FFA chapter to present to you some of the information regarding our CTE program. The FFA chapter is our longest standing and most widely participated in activity that we have for students. And they'll talk to you a little bit about our history leading up to the present, but I did want to know before they get started that I went through the prior 9 years, top ranked students, and out of the last 9 years, 8 of our last top ranked students have been members of FFA. We have students who are involved not just for the agricultural aspects, but for leadership also. We have a legacy of state officers. We have students who matriculated out of FFA and have become congressional interns and have even studied agriculture internationally. We have students who were former FFA students at Stanford, Tufts, University of Nevada-Reno, University of Idaho, and Boise State. We also have former FFA students who are able to enter industry right away. We have a tremendous number of former students who are involved in mining, drilling, ranching, horse training, our linemen in the military, are in fire management, are in rangeland management, or in mechanics. So we have a tremendous pipeline, either right into business or right into college from our FFA program. Mr. Ryan Carpenter has led this program for innumerable years. He's assisted by Colleen Paradise, who has been here for a very long time herself. So we are very well led, and it'll show in our students tonight. So these girls worked really hard creating a presentation for you guys tonight, and you guys can take it over.
Where would you like them to stand?
Wherever you are comfortable, but if you want to come up here, then the folks that are on the video will be able to see you as well. Please, whenever you're ready.
Oh, they need to go see it.
Yeah.
Can they face this way?
You're welcome on there.
Yeah, then they're facing the camera anyways.
Back.
Okay, perfect. You guys just tell me when to go.
Oh, you're just.
Hi, I'm Kylie Thomas, and I'm the Valley Chapter Recorder. I'm also sorry. So, I have no lead. I'm not a part of the chapter's officers, but I'm just here to talk. Welcome out to County School Board. We'd like to talk to you about the Death Valley FFA program, which has been around since 19. Or the recognition. We have been the best dressed chapter for 2 seasons. We have also competed in numerous competitions such as horse judging, school tree and road. The Valley State officers, Kendra Thomas was a state officer from 2011 to 2012. She was the state treasurer of Nevada. Also was Marco. He was a state officer from 2018 to 2019, and he was a state president of Nevada. Leadership and teamwork. In FFA, you learn to develop your leadership skills by attending events such as state convention and workshops, etc. So what that means is we can build our leadership skills through going through workshops, which this year we had winter leadership, and that was very fun because there was a whole bunch of other chapters from the state of Nevada, but it was huge. Teamwork is built on how well you learn to collaborate and communicate with people in the chapter. For us, this means most of our sophomore class is part of FFA through class. We also learn how to communicate with each other because sometimes that's hard for us as girls and boys are so hard sometimes. From improving these skills, we have the ability to be an important asset to our community, which means we can teach people, the younger people of the school, like the elementary kids, we can teach them how to horse judge and all that, starting from a young age before they get into high school. Helping out the community. The Death Valley FFA participants and others have worked up in the shop to make repairs of the people in the community. Which that means like the day management of the department maintenance, and the department if something broke down, the training or something they would come to our and the kids that work in the welding class, they would go through some. The Death Valley FFA chapter has special events such as prom, high school senior nights, open house, and the tribal department, which means if no one's willing to go, we will put on that.
You could well.
Working in the ag shop, hands-on learning experience, collaboration, and patience is part of what is learned in the ag shop. The ag shop is important for students to build specific skills in the ag mechanics such as welding, fabrication, engines, and basic construction. Lessons that last a lifetime. In FFA, there are people you'll meet who will become your friends, and from them you'll learn the lessons that will last a lifetime. Here we have some pictures of our horse livestock judging, or just livestock judging in general. As you can see, we have, most of them are in our sophomore class. Janae, she is a junior this year, but here they're judging sheep.
What is FFA? FFA is about teamwork and about leadership. FFA is also about friendship. FFA is an opportunity for personal growth. FFA is an outlet for exploration and enjoyment. FFA, agriculture, career access, workplace skills, livestock, reading our community together. Like the motto says, living to do, doing to learn, or learning to do, doing to learn, earning to live, living to serve. Which means and what this is what all of us have faith through what it means to us and what we see. Okay.
Thank you, ladies. And thank you very much for the wonderful bill you prepared for us. Greatly appreciate it. It's been commented multiple times that the Owyhee visit is definitely a favorite. And the food contributes to. Thank you.
And good luck at state next week.
Thank you. Anything from the board for our high students? 1.06 is input from the public. And this is a period devoted to comments by the general public, if any. In the interest of privacy and due process, the public is requested to not raise personnel issues except in the legally noticed closed personnel session of the board. Comments limited to 3 consecutive minutes. The speaker's time may not be reserved, divided, apportioned, or deferred. No action may be taken upon a matter raised under this item of the agenda until the matter itself has been included specifically on an agenda as an item upon which action will be taken. Is there any public comment? Please.
Mind if I sit?
Please.
I'd like to welcome you to the 35 tribe, the stewards of this area, and the recognition of our culture and heritage and our presence here in Owyhee Valley. I want to read to you a little presentation that I put together with some concerns that I had in our local area. My name is Kathy Gibson, and I am here to bring to your attention urgent concerns regarding the safety and well-being of students and staff of Owyhee Combined School located in the Elko County School District. Our community has a population of approximately 1,300 residents with a large group of individuals in their late 30s and early 40s. The economic challenges we face are significant, and high unemployment rates contribute to increased alcohol and substance abuse, which in turn impacts our school, our workforce, and our community stability. Over the past 2 years, we've seen growing numbers of serious concerns within the Owyhee Combined School, including alcohol and drug use on the school premises, bullying, fighting, sexual reports and concerns, intimidation of students by law enforcement. These concerns highlight urgent needs for certified and trained school resource officers in our area who understands how to engage with youth in a supportive and a personal and professional manner. Currently, the BIA police officer has been stationed at the school. However, there have been significant concerns regarding their approach. Reports indicate that students have been intimidated through questioning with statements such as, if you don't give me information on where you got the vape, I will arrest you for interfering with my investigation. I want to bring to your attention the Elko County School District Code JCBC, rights and responsibility, investigators and search, law enforcement access to students, and possible FERPA violations. Additionally, under the Nevada revised statute, our tribal police officers are not formally recognized as law enforcement within the school system. If the BIA police are to be involved in school-related matters, it is imperative that they are formally acknowledged and held in the same standards as other law enforcement entities operating within the school system. To address these safety concerns effectively, we strongly advocate for the immediate placement of a certified resource officer who has undergone proper training and to work with youth and respond appropriately to school-related incidents. Certification and alignment of policies regarding law enforcement presence in school, ensuring that officers are recognized under the NRS and operate within appropriate guidelines. Parental right protections, ensuring that parents are present and notified when an officer questions their child at the school. We ask that the board consider the following actions to enhance student safety and improve the school environment. Policy adjustments and agreements or memorandums of agreement, formalize the presence and the role of law enforcement at the Owyhee Combined School, support the school resource officer, work towards securing funding and reallocating resources to place an SRO who meets the Nevada certification requirements and is trained to handle school-related issues with our youth concerning their approach. Enhance respect to parental rights. Now, our school here, I think, is the only one located within a reservation under the Elko County School District. Is that correct? Owyhee Combined School is unique that it is the only school located within the reservation boundaries of our district. This presents unique challenges that require tailored situations. We need immediate action to protect our students, staff, and the borders of our school environment. We appreciate your time, consideration of these concerns, and look forward to working together for a resolution to ensure the safety and well-being of our students, our staff, and our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gibson. Is there additional public comment?
My community comments, I have a granddaughter in school, and I'd like to comment on some of the things that she had said. We need to look up to the interest of the children, as well as staff as well. But I think it's very important that we have the communication between the administration and parents, when our kids are involved. And something, say they're being bad or they did something wrong in school, and the last person to know is us. We don't get notification, a call, courtesy text, something. I'd like to know as a parent whether my kid's being naughty, and so that I can discipline them at home, because it takes a community to raise a child and raise them in a proper way so that we can have a good community. Because if we're not working together to enhance, the skills of the students, it's not going to work. We're going to have a bunch of drug addicts, and then we're going to fall into that trap that we don't want to have any of our children to go down. So that was one thing that, I'd like to see happen, is more collaboration between administration and the parents. For the last 2 months. And it gets scary sometimes, everybody's calling everybody, hey, there's somebody at school with a gun, or there's somebody at school with a knife, go pick up your kids, you don't want them to call you with your kid being dead. It's like, I wouldn't want that. I don't think anybody would. But the other question, I have a question is, with all the cuts that's happening, how is it going to affect our free lunch program for our community?
So right now that's unclear. I know the federal government is proposing, they already have proposed some cuts from the Department of Agriculture. However, I know right now there's also a bill that's been proposed in our own Nevada legislature that would kind of offset that and provide funds, but that bill has yet to be approved or rejected at this point. So for us, we're definitely a wait and see at this point, but we're definitely always watching it. And we've got a few different things kind of up in the air as it pertains to food service for a lot of our sites, especially Owyhee being one that's under the community eligibility provision, I think is what it's called. So we're paying attention to that to make sure that we have some kind of contingency plans.
All right, that's good to know.
Really fingers crossed for me anyway, that our legislature supports that bill to make sure there's free food for all of our students. So that would be the ideal scenario for us.
Well, let's all cross our fingers and hope in our toes and hope that they will look at our.
Is there any additional public comment? Seeing none, we'll go to 2.01. This is the appointment of school board members to attend the 2025 high school graduation ceremonies throughout the district. And I'm going to start briefly with Dr. Byers, who was not able to make it. He is only able to attend Elko High School and the Northern Nevada Virtual Academy. That doesn't mean that those need to be appointed, or he needs to be appointed to those two, just letting you know that he's restricted on others. Who would like to start discussions, please?
I can start. I would like to attend Dismissed School, Parliament, adult and private.
Next, next thing is Spring Creek High, so I definitely like to be at that one. I've also got a student from my church youth group that is at Battleborn, so I'd like to go to that one, and then I can fill in Carlin or whatever else I needed.
Okay.
My only request is Elko. I have two cousins and a nephew graduating this year. Elko.
It doesn't matter to me, I'll go wherever I need to. I can come here to Owyhee. Not that I don't want to go to Jackpot, but I've done theirs twice, so I'm trying to get to different ones that I haven't been to. So I can do Owyhee. Sorry, it's just looking at the things are not the same day here. I can do well, if you want. I mean, I'm like the rest of them, if you want me to fill in some, somebody else can do it, I'm good with.
That's not pretty great. Congratulations. Last year for the first time. It was awesome.
Yeah, I'd like to.
Jeff, any preferences?
Yeah, if I could please, you could put me down for Battleborn Youth Academy on the 13th, and then Owyhee on the 6th, and West Wendover High School on the 5th.
Okay, I missed the first part, but I've got you down for the BBYCA, West Wendover, and Owyhee.
That's correct.
Perfect. All righty then. I also have one graduating at Spring Creek, so I'd like to go to Spring Creek. So let me rephrase that. I'll be attending Spring Creek, whether it's officially or not, I'll be there. And the adult ed, I'll be able to attend that as well. So I'll join you, Adriana. And there was on the 5th. I'll take Jackpot. I was going to do Carlin, but we've got two.
I could do Jackpot too.
Okay. So why don't you and I go? And I have myself down for Owyhee as well. On the 5th, or Jackpot. That's at 6 Mountain, 5 Pacific. I had down NNDA. Brooke, you're going to Jackpot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. No, I mean.
I can do well, but I didn't do well.
Okay. Right now, Susan, I kind of got you as our floater. So I know that you are flexible. We'll look at timing, but Josh might be on his own for an NDA. I don't think that's going to necessarily be a problem. And I have yet to miss a BBYCA since it opened, so I'll attend that one as well. So let's try this. I've got Elko, let's see. All right, great. So I have Elko High School as Josh and Brooke, and NBA as Josh. Spring Creek, sorry, by the way, these are just in order of what they came out, not alphabetical or chronological. Spring Creek High School, Adriana, Teresa, and Matt. Carlin, Adriana, and Teresa as needed. Adult Ed, Adriana and Matt. BBYCA, Adriana, Teresa, Jeff, and Matt. Wells will be Susan. West Wendover will be Jeff. Owyhee will be Matt and Jeff. I don't know why I wrote Owyhee twice. And then Jackpot is Brooke and Matt. Does that sound like we've got everybody covered and anybody I left out or things I missed?
Susan also Owyhee, or just as needed?
So I've only got you, Susan, at Wells currently. Are there other areas you'd like to go to?
No, I said I come to a light.
Okay. Matt, Jeff, and Susan at Wells. Okay. I think that covers that. Is there, this is for possible action, using the list that I just provided, is there a motion to accept that? Perfect. All right. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, chair votes aye as well. Motion passes. 2.02 is receive, review, and possible approval of the 2025-2026 Outdoor Youth Challenge Academy BBYCA calendar. This is for possible action. It's created in collaboration with the Elko County School District Human Resources Department, Director of BBYCA, Dr. Andre Ponder, and the ECSD staff employed at BBYCA. Sure.
Yeah, so because Battleborn is on a very unique type of schedule, given their structure, we always, ever since they've opened, we have to do a separate calendar for that. Just 'cause, like, start times, and a bigger break in the middle. So anyway, they have a totally separate calendar that also has to be approved. And we've been waiting for a couple weeks to get back and do that. So that's there for your consideration. Upon your approval, we feel we'll send that to the Department of Ed and similar to how we get our regular.
All right, moved and seconded. Further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye as well. Motion passes. 2.03 is receive, review, and possible approval of the critical need designation for all certified licensed positions in the Owyhee Combined School and for the critical need designation for all elementary teaching certified positions in the Elko County School District. This will be effective July 1, 2025. Mr. Krinka.
All right, to do some background on critical needs, first of all. Before we get going, I screwed up. All right, so I'll apologize now for wasting your time with the statement and for next week because I forgot to put special education on there, even though I was asked, but make sure I made sure in the wrong spot. And then about 3 a.m. this morning, I was like, I better check. And I was, so you'll get a special ed, all special ed licenses. Also, as we keep my very good, now, so a lot of times, these critical needs designations will come up with a lot of other types of HR related questions about personnel, what we're doing in other areas to meet these critical needs. So I talk about them now a little bit, but I hope to have a much better presentation next week. Dealing with everything from a lot of what Ms. John talked about before the meetings with UNLV and our partnerships with GBC, Grand Canyon, Western Governors, as well as J1, H1s, and everything else. So this will be a little bit shorter for that reason. The critical needs are every 2 years. As you can see, we have all the Owyhee positions, which is very unique. A couple of years ago, when the state superintendent was up here, she made that recommendation that we should go ahead and do that because most of our critical needs are district-wide. This is very specific for obvious reasons. We have 13 of our 27 positions are either vacant currently have long-term sub, or currently have a critical need. The need for critical needs has all positions, but it's, in my opinion, quite evident. In elementary positions, you can see that there's like 55, 50 some of the 73 positions total are, or can be filled with an elementary license. Since I wrote that out, I think we've hired 4 new teachers, but those were all of the secondary. We have 3 new English teachers and another science teacher. So the needs are very specific for elementary, and that includes early childhood, elementary art, elementary music intervention, anything that falls within the elementary category, which doesn't fit on their very difficult to fill application. Just explains the random font. Sorry about that. So any questions? We still have plenty of time on the other one. We have to have this done by July 1, but we can get it done now. This is usually when we do it.
I move to approve the critical need designation for all certified licensed positions in Owyhee Combined School and for the critical need designation for all elementary teaching.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Chair votes aye as well, motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Trinket. 2.04 is receipt, review, and possible approval of the FY25 spring incentive grant applications. This is for possible action. Don't know that Ms. Cox was able to join us on Zoom. Do you have any information to add to this, Ms. Anderson?
Not a whole lot to add. I can just tell you the process. So just as a reminder, we have these twice a year. The board approved incentive grant applications that were, sorry, the ones that we pushed through. So we have a committee that consists of most of the district leadership. It also includes our facilities director, Mr. Stalky, our CFO, Cassie, Megan, obviously our grants coordinator, Matt Robinson is in there. Because a lot of times these projects are tech related. So really most of our whole cabinet team at the district office, we all get together and review those applications for the criteria, and also to make sure we have projects worthy of funding or that are going to be funded another way. Anyway, we just collaborate on those, and these were the 7 that were approved. By way of reminder, every school is eligible for one of these a year. If you combine schools, they are allowed to so choose. I do not have the list of all of them in front of me, but those are the 7 that were approved, and it's probably all the information I have unless there's specific questions about the application in particular.
This has already gone through one committee, or any committees are recommending this.
Yeah, this is the recommendation of our committee to have you approve these set of applications. Yes.
Discussion from the board.
Question, and maybe I'm not understanding it right, but just like for instance, on the very first one, it's from Carlin Combined. It says amount of grant funds requested 5,000, requested 5,000. And then it says amount of matching funds, and it has to be equal to or greater than the grant funds requested, and their matching funds is only 3,775.
It's also 5,000 from
And I'm assuming that the ones from the medical grants have been approved.
Okay, that's what I didn't know how that fit in there. I didn't know if that had to just come out of their matching funds had to come out of like this 292 account.
in this situation. So no, I think last time around we had actually a chart that we provided you that showed you everything. And I apologize if that's not here. I even think this one may only be. I seem to remember we only actually funded. It's just
The last one, if they requested 5,000, but they only matched 1,000, then we only matched what they matched.
I believe we only matched around. I can, as a follow-up, get you a chart that shows, not all of them were funded for the full amount that they asked for.
Based on what they put in.
Yeah.
I don't recall others that, I know there were others that had, there was at least one other that had another medical lines grant, but I don't believe there were any others that had less than their request coming out of school.
And
I
sometimes,
should say school, but student or other activity.
I was gonna say, sometimes even though another grant can't be used as matching funds, they still put that number in there of other funds being applied toward the project, just so we can see that the entirety of the project is accounted for. So there's a place to put that. So since this costs 10,000, or sorry, 13,775.70, even though only 3,775.70 is eligible for match, should still show how much more they're putting in. But yeah, like I said, finalized, I can get those finalized numbers from that for you, so you can see them.
CJ, the Liberty Peak is over $100,000. We're matching 5,000. Are they putting that away in the kitty and holding that?
Yeah, so Liberty Peak is doing kind of a long range, medium range planning to add some more structures to their playground. So they do, this is second or third year in a row, they do big fundraisers, not just hopefully color runs or other things. And they put all that money aside into an account, and whenever opportunities come up from either our incentive grant or from they try to just get a little more put away so they can eventually and we are what we're doing from an accounting standpoint is that money isn't sitting over in like an activity fund that could, not that intention to do this, but let's just say it was like a turnover in leadership or something at the school, where that person says, oh, wow, look at all that money. So Cassie, actually Julie created it, and Cassie's continued to make sure this happens, is that money is going into a separate playground structure account for that school, and it's designated for the specific purpose. And let's just say their plans changed and they had a different priority, well, all the money that was put for matching for that, their plans changed. So it's just sitting tight while they, anyway, kudos to them for having that patience, right, to keep fundraising, so you get what they want. But it's because it's a newer school, they don't have a ton of other needs immediately, and it's something that they collaboratively work with their community and their kids, the teachers, like everyone. It's kind of what we want our school to enlarge and be part of that a little bit. And so they're 1,000 by 1,000, and they're well on their way.
Last question I had was in regards to flagging.
Yeah.
I know that we already have multiple initiatives in regards to school safety.
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure that this wasn't really counted. I mean, obviously your committee's already done that, but
when we received the application before we even met as a committee, and I saw this, because we're supposed to kind of review them, so we don't spend all day together talking about the app. So the moment they came across my desk, I called Principal Annette and said, hey, as you know, we're working on our school violence prevention project throughout the district, and even though window film isn't quite coming up yet, we do see it somewhere in the near future. Just want to make sure that that that's coming. We're certainly happy to fund this if that's what you, again, knowing that the PTA wanted to contribute to that, that was a priority. So if that's what you want to do, collaborate as a group, but don't be upset in 5 years when we do windows open for everybody and you say, whoa, we spent our own money on it. You said we get it, that's fine, it's something we definitely want to do, it's a priority for us. And this would have been on the heels of their events that they had. Not there two ago, where there was a little bit scares for them, so I think it was something that they thought was a priority and totally understand that, you know, we're gonna be doing it all when they want to do it. And so we're making sure that we checked into it, making sure it fits. So we ran what they plan on doing through our school safety ops, gentleman Jeff K, who helps us develop our emergency operations plans. He's reviewed their product and what they're asking for, and so that definitely meets the criteria of what we would recommend. And so we communicated thoroughly with them, and they still want to move forward with this.
Thank you. Anything else from the board?
I just want to say I appreciate all the school turning in an application. It was nice to see them and thank them for the time it takes to put this together, because I thought that explanation was better than I've seen in the past, along with seeing what it was exactly they wanted to buy. I don't think we saw that last year's.
I know Megan is one of the perk of being new, I guess, is she's learning a lot of processes, and so she's asking a lot of questions, and she's also doing a lot of clarifying. So I think it's getting better, a little better every time. And not that it's been done poorly before, but you know, sometimes fresh eyes and be effective on the process. So, yeah, I thought this time around actually went pretty smoothly for the committee too. Super. Good thoughts. I appreciate that. I'll pass that along. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the FY25 incentive for spring incentive grant applications.
And Jeff, I can't see you on the screen anymore. I just want to make sure you didn't have anything.
I actually thought the Mustang costume for Northside looked pretty cool. So other than that, I'm all in favor.
Great, thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye as well. Motion passes. 2.05 is receive the facilities and construction update. Non-action item, Mr. Stolpe.
So food science building, plumbing, electrical. They will start texture taping in probably about a week or so. So we're sort of doors, windows are going in. So that's statement. You know, as well as we had a little bit of issues with some of the old trailers plumbing, but getting that sorted out. Got the plans for Old Central back from design, so kind of putting all that together for Rich right now. And then still looking into cost proposals and design for boilers at Elko High School. So rough proposal we have, you know, $1.3 million we're thinking at Elko High School. That number will probably higher to back. Program number 2, design still moving forward with the boilers for there and office relocation. So we should probably have finished plans here in about a month or so. School safety projects. We are looking at West Wendover High School. West Wendover probably the next month and a half, and then probably go up to Jackpot. And then their work has started at Owyhee about 2 weeks ago. So I want to tell everybody out there, but they're moving forward. So yeah, so going good. That's all I got.
Comes from the board.
Will grammar 2, the change in the office be done for next fall?
I
Is
think
that the goal?
I wanted kind of a better number for proposal for you guys, and then you guys can decide if you want to move forward on that. So the boiler is definitely gonna be happening, and then we're gonna see what cost proposal we have for that office relocation. Working on that. Just got design back a couple days ago, so we're getting closer, so when I have a good number, I'll come to you guys and see if you want to move forward.
Forward with before the summer starts. Is it a quick enough project that it would be ready? in time
Yeah,
to start? The remodel of the.
It'll go hand in hand with the board.
Okay.
If you wanted to move forward with that project. Yeah. So, that's the plan. B1 project.
And Matt, remind me, all three boiler projects are on the 8519 list of improvements with the 20 cents in the county?
Grant number 2 will not be.
Okay.
And then I think I would like to push, I'd like to hope that the boilers at Elko High will last another year. And then that way we can kind of use some of that money and work on that same jackpot. I don't think they'll be coming to you guys soon, but I'd like to get design done, everything ready to go back up to bid next year to see.
We should start seeing that July 1, correct?
Yeah, and as like a rough update for that, we've kind of tentatively talked about a projected amount of about $5 million set allocation. And right now, it kind of looks like more or less we're on target from that. When Cassie was able to get an update of roughly about $3.5 million to this point. I'm assuming that's through February. So if there's another 4 months or so, about 2/3 in. So maybe a little more than 5 million. And then again, just as a reminder that as we take that, apply it to the state for matching. So 10 to 11, somewhere around there, that we could potentially work on some of these other very high priority projects. We're just kind of keeping an eye on it. And yeah, July 1, we would plan on. And the way that will have to work is we would have to make the expenditure and then request a reimbursement from the county because the money isn't our money, it's theirs, and they're just allocating it to us. And so just basically as soon as we know we have access to it, we'll start moving forward with this project. Try to take full advantage of the summer.
Thank you, because that was kind of towards my question of, are we able to allocate the money, get it matched, and then receive the payment reimbursement after? So can we allocate the money on our end before July 1 with the match, and then get the reimbursement after July 1? Otherwise, we're losing another.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm sure that's the way it's.
I'll have to get back to you on that.
Yeah.
I think Matt, Cassie, and I would need to really talk and probably even get a conference call with someone from the Department of. One of the departments in Carson City about how, like, because up until this point, 9 months ago, it was all hypothetical how this would happen, and now that it's coming up, I think we need to make sure we're very clear on. Hey, the county has assured us it's going to be at least this much. We kind of get this ball rolling so we don't waste valuable weeks and months, and maybe we'll be willing to just kind of.
Yeah,
As long as maybe the county assures them, yeah, we'll try to figure out the best way to do that.
So July, the soonest we can submit these projects?
July would be the soonest we can have access to the dollars from the county.
So when do we start submitting these projects?
I think that's what we're saying is we could probably get going on designs and bids and things like that before then. But the problem is we're not going to have 10 million sitting in an account that we can start to use without that, right? So we're going to be limited in upfront payments, and so we're going to have to be able to have access to that money before we can really start paying anybody for it.
So is it 25 million, but is it on like a first come, first served basis, or?
It is.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, there was another county protecting access.
Oh.
And it's for only rural counties, and it would take a full year before they had mechanism in place for them to be able to match that? Because my understanding is it would have to be funded through a mechanism similar to what Elko County.
It would have to be a tax levy specifically, as mentioned in E519. They can't just take money out of their general fund.
And if I could say maybe this 5 million this go around and get it, we can get things to kind of last, and then that would be, actually kind of work with and figure out some multiple projects.
Thank you very much. Any further questions for Mr. Tolman? Appreciate that. Thank you. 2.01 is our consent agenda. Second on the table, any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Motion passes. 4.01 is our superintendent report. Mr. Anderson.
Yes. It feels like it's been a while since we met. A month ago. Quite a bit has since then. So I was able to go represent Elko County and some of our other, spoke kind of generally about our rural school districts with a couple other rural superintendents, but we went and spoke to the Senate Committee on Education. I may have that title wrong, but about very specifically on school safety and about the state of school safety measures in Elko County, how we're able to do what we do, where gaps exist. They were very impressed with our efforts in our school violence prevention project. We highlighted a lot of good things, but also very realistic about, the only reason we're able to do those things is because the federal grants and generous donors and things like that. So we're doing some good things, but because we're being creative, not because of funding mechanisms of that. So deliver that message without being too harsh, trying to burn the bridges or anything like that. But it was a good presentation. At least I thought it was well, and there's the follow-up questions which we so that happened. Also, superintendent conference at the same time, that's the legislature for your event, which I'm sure someone will report on, and a lot of the focus at our national conference, at least from, because as a reminder, I'm one of Nevada's 2 representatives on the AASA governing board. And so I was out there a little earlier to have those governing board meetings with our association. And a lot of attention and focus right now on what's happening at the federal level with different executive orders and cuts in the U.S. Department of Education and federal funding freezes, and all those things just seem to change on a regular basis between declarations and orders being made and judges overruling those, and it seems like there's a little bit of combat going on there a little bit. So anyway, we're just trying to stay the course and make sure that our needs and wishes are made known throughout those processes. Someone had a great quote that either that we were heavily advocating for a seat at the table, and kind of the funny anecdote was that if you're not seated at the table, you're the one being eaten for dinner. And so we're making sure that education's needs are being need to be represented through that department, because otherwise it's going to be this like afterthought all the time. And we have children, we have whole communities that rely very heavily on federal support. Again, another thing that I've seen reassured time after time is, regardless of what happens in the Department of Ed, from a federal standpoint, Title I funding and IDEA funding are independent of that department. Those will continue. Those will continue to be funded. Now, at what level? That's a different story. But those are not just gonna go away, so that's a relief for a lot of us. Anyway, I could talk for a long time about what went on there, but that was, I want you to know that a lot of that work that I'm doing with AASA right now and for our that Association of School Superintendents is that advocacy for, it's not just in Elko County when I'm doing that, it's for all students all over Nevada. And really, all over our region, I was meeting heavily with superintendents from Washington, from Oregon, from California, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, and Mexico. So yeah, good conversations, and it sounds like our advocates, our lobbyists, our folks from the national level, AASA, are doing a great job keeping us updated and doing everything we can to make sure that we continue to get what we need. And among those discussions were such things as was brought up earlier about food for our students, about the importance of E-rate in order to bring connectivity out to our remote schools. Owyhee is looking forward to better connectivity, especially with the new school. And it's through programs like E-rate that a lot of our communities in Elko and a lot of the rural communities all over Nevada are able to do that. So trying to heavily advocate balance that need to focus on our district, but also think about all of our kids all over Nevada that rely on those supports. We had our STEM fair that wrapped up last week, and that was exciting. As always, some really great projects, and historically we've seen some awesome projects come out of Owyhee, and I love your science and STEM out here, and some really impressive projects from all over the county. I think at our next board meeting or the one after that, we'll plan on having those champions come and present to you. I know that's always a highlight for you guys to see the kids in action and displaying their talents, and so we'll make sure you have that real soon. Oh, sorry. I got a couple other things here too. I'm gonna get in trouble with 2 people if I forgot to talk about these things. So the first one I'm going to share is Megan Cox has asked me to let you all know as a board and also let the community of Owyhee know that that we're having a tribal consultation regarding Elko County School District's title programs, which are specifically focused on better supporting American Indian and Alaska Native students within our district. I'm reading this word for word, so sorry, my eyes are down. This consultation is in accordance with the federal Every Student Succeeds Act requirement for meaningful consultation with tribal leaders, and we value your input as we review our programs. So we have a public notice with location details and virtual options. So we hold that meeting in person in our boardroom at Elko, but you certainly can, and folks from Owyhee have in the past zoomed in, or I think it's Zoom that we use, to participate or just to listen, however you want to do that. So that's on March 20th, which is Thursday of this week. And we would greatly appreciate your input in ensuring that title programs effectively address the educational needs of Native students in your community. So your input and insight is essential. So whether you're able to do it or family member on the tribal council or whatever, however you want to participate, we invite everyone. You don't need to be a tribal council member to do it. Just parents from the community can jump in there, and we give an overview of how that money is currently being used and get feedback and put from people on potential other needs before this event. Sometime soon we'll get our allocations for next year and decide how to best use those in conjunction with the school leaders and the community input. So please do join that meeting. It's on Thursday, and if you look at my calendar, is at 11, I believe. It's at 12 p.m.
Well, on the calendar it says 11 to 12, but I'm thinking that's Elko time.
Yeah, I'm looking at the calendar right now. So that is, yeah, so it would be 12 o'clock here. Sometimes my computer changes when I change time zones, and other times it doesn't. So this says 11 Pacific time, so yeah, that will be noon. Noon here. And all of that information can be can be posted. You can also just give our school district office a call. Principal and John will be happy to point you towards that as well. So yeah, please do join if you can. And then the other thing I need to share with you is Heather Steele, a couple of meetings ago, I think, or maybe it was just one meeting ago, teased all the wonderful things that would be happening with our career and technical student organizations. And so it's going to be a minute, so just hang with me. I actually have 6 pages of great results. I'm not going to read 6 pages of results to you, but I'm going to highlight some great things. So in the category of HOSA, which is our health occupation students in that organization, our Spring Creek High, so at Spring Creek High School, the advisors there are Brenna Merrill and then at Spring Creek Middle, the advisor Brandy Davis. So from those schools at the high school, Lauren Heckman, qualified for nationals in medical assisting, Carly Nichols and Zoe Dahl in EMT, Aspen Allen, Lila Lerma, Fernanda Cortez, and Natalie Padilla, qualified under mental health promotion. Delaney Hipwell, Eve Valdez, Nyla Colgan, and community awareness, and Sage Comer Cartwright in medical spelling. From the middle school, Parker Merrill, actually won state in foundations of vet science and also qualified for nationals, and that Isabel Palazzolo, who qualified in life-threatening situations. That's cool. Good job to them. And from Elko High School, advisor Tevin Thomas. I had a student, Adriana Amaya, who placed second in veterinary science and also qualified for nationals. For FCCLA, maybe I am 6 pages. If you want me to stop, just tell me to stop. But this is pretty good stuff. At Elko High School for FCCLA, which is family consumer. Yeah, yeah, it's totally escaping me right now. Anyway,
Family career community leaders.
Is that what it is?
Family career community.
All right, there you go. Family, community, career, and community leaders. So from Elko High School, the advisors are Lucy Peters and Veronica Luna, and Kaylin Pelt was awarded silver for community service display. At West Wendover, where the advisors are Deseret Blake and Marty Cruz Escobedo, Lindsay Wallstrom won state and qualified for nationals in fashion design. And the parliamentary procedure team won state and qualified for nationals, and those students are Cannon Carter, Xavier Ruiz, Melissa de Santiago, Mary Strother, Daniela Salazar, Brian Alvarado, Samuel Flores, Karen Mendoza. Mari Cruz Escobedo was also recognized for outstanding service as an advisor. Carmen High School, advisor Sarah Anthony and Kayla McKinney, Kaylee Schultz, won state in hospitality, tourism, and recreation. Lindsay Ermer won state in personal finance. If I'm reading a kid's name, they qualify for nationals, and I'll specify it for state. And then Layla Taylor in interpersonal communications, Emily McNamara sustainability challenge, and Mrs. Kayla Kinney, who's one of the advisors, received an award for 10 years of service as an alumni and advisor with FCCLA. Probably let's just do some of these and then next meeting I'll do it somewhere. How's that sound?
Since next meeting's in the week, we can do that, I think. That's right, you're not gonna be. We could have somebody else here.
Cody. Carlin High School, wait, I just did that other thing. Spring Creek High School, the advisors Genevieve Demick, and I guess she was nominated by the Carlin FCCLA chapter for the National Spirit Advising Award, which recognizes advisors who are constantly faithful, often quietly working behind the scenes, To ensure the success of their students, Mrs. Demick was selected as the recipient and will be recognized and received her award during the national competition. So another chapter from the Elko nominated Mrs. Demick, and she was selected. Just great. The Spring Creek High chapter was awarded the Ultimate Image Award, which is nice. The whole chapter got something. State champions and promotion, it's called Promote and Publicize. So Grayson, Demick, Mason, Morris, and Nissa Romo won a state in that. In sports nutrition, the following students won state: Jerevan Demick, or Dreven Demick. Thank you. About my first attempt, but that makes sense. Dreven Demick, JC Lindquist, and Addison Hutt. In chapter project, Nyla Colgan and Eve Valdez, they also won state. Food innovations, Bryce Ferris and Jaden Ratazi won state. Repurpose and redesign, Aaron Gillespie won state. Here. Focus on children, Raylan Kemp and Vivian Morrison won state. In professional presentation, Brenly Leduc and Addison Savage. In sports nutrition, Landon Carpenter, Tyler Hope, Aiden Walters. Sustainability, Addison Fuller and Delaney Hipwell, and professional presentation, Corbin Eck. Nice picture here. But it's a wonderful photo. It's actually of all the Elko County FCCLI competitors and their advisors. So all the schools together, which is great. And I think, well, she told me it was 6 pages. It's on 4. All I have left is that BLA. Okay, we're doing it. We're doing it, Cody, you're off the hook. Oh, maybe. There might be something new by next time. So under for FBLA, Jackpot Advisors Anthony Thiel, and going to nationals are Vanessa Mendez for personal finance, Kevin Jack for client service, and Jorge Avila, Julian Cervantes, and Gio Rios for business plan. I remember some of those kids last year. I was their judge for business plan last year. That's why I say that they're going national this year. Last year, that was awesome. Listen, I gave them some good feedback last year. Way to go, it was you, good job.
All the kids, they did awesome.
Wells advisor, so for Wells, the advisors are Danielle Runyon and Miles Baldwin. So middle school for marketing mix, Cassidy Runyon. I guess it says, I know her last name's Runyon. We just have initials, so I'm gonna stick with initials. Cassidy R, one state. And along with her, Aviana D, Lupe F, Bella S, and Dalian C. I'm just gonna say first names at this point. Under career research, one state, Dalian, Estrella, Gabby, and Hadley. For FBLA mission and pledge, they won state, Hadley, Evelyn, Maria, and Gabby. And exploring business issues, Cassidy, also won state. So it's like several of those kids won state in several categories, which is kind of cool for them. Exploring public speaking, Aviana D, and then digital citizenship, Anaya D, won state. For high school, electronic career portfolio, Gonzalo won state. And then for digital video production, Chris B, Jesse S, and Colter R. Parliamentary procedure, Carson B, Isaac G, Jesse S, Colter R, and Marco C. Do a lot of those last names, but I feel bad for the 1 or 2 I couldn't get, so it's killing me not to say their names. All right. From West Wendover, the advisors are Chris Ann Dye and Deborah Hessington. Aside from the individual awards, I will read the FBA school chapter received 2 awards, the Champion Chapter Award and the Sweepstakes, which is a top 10 FBLA chapter in Nevada. Great. Veronica Torres got 3rd place in financial math, Jackson Contreras in business law, Stephanie Luna, introduction to information technology, Natalie Flores, computer problem solving, Destiny Gonzalez in business communication, human resources, and economics. Jeff's following along with all these, so I can say good job to all the kids. Alexis Lara in journalism, supply chain management, and UX design. And then Shelby Lara won state in introduction to business procedure and introduction to business communication. All right, oh, we're so close. 2 more.
Yeah.
From Spring Creek High, advisors are Michaela Butters and Deborah Levenow. Carson McCarty won state, and oh, wait, look at that. Did you know? I'm sure you did. Carson won state.
He did?
Yeah.
This kid never tells me anything.
Carson McCarty won personal finance and won in personal finance and organizational leadership. Dominic Taylor made it to nationals for impromptu speaking. Emily Clark for future business educator. Adley Baldwin in visual design, and Phoebe Earwicker in future business educator. And lastly, Elko High School, where the advisors are Nicole Moreno and Dustin Baum. The chapter received an award for the highest increase in student membership. And Dominic Huerta, Luis Romero, and Abraham Gonzalez are going to nationals for hospitality and event management. And Gavin Peterson in introduction to program.
Congratulations, David. Didn't see you producing list.
Long names. So congrats to all of our students. I know we've got a lot more coming, as Teresa indicated and noted. We got our FFA kids on the state, so before you know it, we'll be shouting out plenty more great names, and something we kind of brag about and, you know, applaud the Elko County is our dedication to and our strong programs with CTE, and all of those organizations we just read awards from. Those are all CTSOs, which are student organizations from CTE classes. I know that's important to us. It's something that we care about very much, very career oriented in Elko County School District. So it's good to see those students applying themselves, and often those programs are what kids engaged, and so it's really appreciate all the wonderful advisors who make time for those kids. Appreciate all the folks who, Teresa, you were there, and Matt, you were there, I was there. People who judge at these competitions locally and regionally to make sure our kids have those opportunities. And it takes a lot of people to provide these opportunities for our kids, and most of them do it without getting any money. So congratulations and thanks to everyone. Keep doing good things for kids. So we're proud of them. Yeah, a lot coming up in the future, but talked a lot already. So I'm gonna call it good unless you have any questions.
You can proceed. Alrighty. So your superintendent report is finished. Thank you, sir. Board report. Board matters 5.01. Jeff, I see you on the screen. You want to go first on board report?
Sure, you bet. And I'll throw out a shout out to all those West Wendover kids that did good. We're having our annual fundraiser we do for FCCLA coming up. We just set the date, April 15th, where we do a day of sales, goes towards them going to nationals. But the advisors there have been great to work with. This is our third year doing that. Glad to see their success. On another note, I've been meeting quite frequently with the legislative committee with NASB. We've gone over a couple bills. Let me pull up this email here. I can read off a couple if you're interested in some rabbit holes to go down, some bills regarding education. But also I did send to Cassie, I apologize it was late, but the legislative roundup from Tom Clark Solutions, our lobbyists, and that will answer a lot of questions as far as what's going on in education and other areas in the legislature currently. And as soon as I get that next one, I'll send that out. But in our last meeting, we touched on these first four are all assembly bills: AB 386, 398, 389, and 416, as well as Senate Bill 259. It's kind of interesting to see where they're going with that, but I'll have some more updates on that in the next meeting. And again, when we get that email from the legislative update, the next current one from Tom Clark.
Thanks, Jeff. Anything further?
No, that's all I got. I want to apologize. I'm not making it out, but I mean, I got part way to Wells and the wind was really bad. The semis and stuff were pulling over, and I just didn't want to. That was at 2 p.m. I didn't want to have to mess with that coming home at 9 or 10 at night. So I decided to do Zoom, but we'll make it up. Owyhee, I'll be glad to see y'all for graduation. So.
Thanks, Jeff. Teresa, by the way, Noah, we'll come to you too. So if you have anything you want to say, we'll give you some time to prepare as we go down the list. All right?
Right, I will say congratulations to the Spring Creek High School academic team. They were runner-up at state. They lost by 1 point to Truckee. Since that's a California school, I say we win. But, anyway, congratulations to them, and then just kind of keep your calendars open for the next NASB meeting, which will be in Virginia City in April or May. I can't remember the date exactly, but we've got enough time. I'll keep you up to date on that one before we get to that meeting.
I was gonna say, I can tell you the date because I know I can't attend. But I don't remember why I can't attend, so it's gonna make a difference, all right. Okay, anything further, Teresa?
No, that's it.
Thank you.
Just to say thank you for making food every year. Last year, it was great too, and I'm sorry I'm not gonna make it for graduation. I was here last year and it was so much fun. Hopefully next year. I'm gonna try my best.
Thank you.
I give you an update kind of on the legislative session that we did. It was really neat, honestly, to get to go and meet at Tom Clark Solutions and just kind of hear from our lobbyists and what they're hoping to work on right now. And then to go in and sit on, the session meeting and just see kind of what some of the youth are doing around our state. It's pretty impressive. The youth legislators gotta go and sit in on a education committee meeting and see a bill that they presented to the Senate. Anyways, yeah, it's just really impressive to see what students in our state are doing and to hear that we're the only state that does anything like that has a youth legislators that are doing anything like that. And so I think it's really amazing to see what Nevada is doing with our youth, and they're really impressive. And I see it all the time in our schools, in our students in our schools in our district. Our youth are just really impressive. So it was a really neat experience. And when I went, and the training was great, and I feel like it was that first and third year training that we do, and I feel like the first year I took it, a lot of it just went over my head. And so it was good to kind of go through and have a little refresher course on some of those things, and I feel like I retained a little bit more this time. So thankful for those opportunities to go and get some more training, and feel like I have my feet on the ground a little bit better as a board member. That's it.
Thank you. Susan?
I agree with Brooke on what she just said, so I won't repeat it. It was, on top of that, was a little disappointing of the person that we were supposed to meet with, but I think next time that'll be fixed, hopefully. And thank you for the students who prepared a meal. That was great. Thank you, Noah, for being up here with us. And I would like to say too, I know I don't think it's the same person all the time, but I like Owyhee's social media. Like, we really post a lot about what's happening up there, and I really appreciate that because it helps me stay in touch somewhat. I try to look at social media as much as I can, but I know I miss some things, but I do notice the good things that you're doing up here, so appreciate it.
No, anything to add?
I don't know much to say, but I was giving the idea of kind of what student councils were. I say this year was like the most we've done student councilors, like the most kids that volunteer. Like that, great about it.
I also want to thank the FFA chapter for getting the food today, but also to the community for welcoming us. So it was great to be up here, and thank you to Ben and John for your staff as well. The NASB workshop was good. I appreciate that. As politically wonky as I can be, I've never attended the legislature, so it's kind of cool to sit in the Senate session as well. And some good sessions on employee relations and collective bargaining, cool pack on financial leadership, elected trustees, and then of course the city's CFO presented on financial statements and other things for the trustees. So I think that was good, and I appreciated that. I can confirm to the board that we will have a workshop with Dr. Alsbury on April 8th at 4:30. It is a closed session of the board, and that will be with Dr. Alsbury, the first of ours. He is reviewing the first 3 meetings of this calendar year, and we'll hear something on the board development side of things at that meeting. CJ's superintendent evaluation, self-evaluation will be presented at the next meeting for our review. It's just review only. And then for us, we will have our evaluation for CJ that we will present then at the April 15 meeting. So you should be able to get that information. I sent the email and then I never followed up, so I'll follow up with you all individually. But that's that information as well. And I think that's it. As a reminder to the communities that we serve throughout the county, we do have another meeting next week, the 25th, because the spring break meeting we've moved around. So another meeting next week that will be at the Elko Central Office. I think that's all I have.
Can I
Yes,
just
ma'am.
ask you with Dr. Alsbury, it starts at 4:30, do you have an approximate? Not that I'm super busy, you need to know, I guess, but for my calendar, I'm like.
I would say block 2 hours, and I will follow up with Dr. Ellsbury and get that information. Okay, then with that, we will go back to accounts payable. I apologize. 6.01, approval of the accounts payable.
Make a motion to approve accounts payable.
There's a motion and a second. Discussion or disclosures of record.
I will disclose that I have a family member who is employed by Wells for Electric and will not be using.
I have to disclose that I work for Lowell and I will be extended from voting.
And I'll disclose that I have a family member who works for Wells Fargo Electric and will not be abstaining from voting.
Perfect. Any other disclosures of record? Discussion? Motion on the table. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Jeff. Chair votes aye as well. Motion passes. 7.01 is input from the public. This is the final opportunity for public input, if any. All right. Hearing none, we will adjourn. Thank you all very much. And again, we appreciate the welcome.
Thanks. Safe travels, everyone.
Experience a little bit of